Welcome to this session on how to automate your data actions through Data Activator. Before we dig into the most interesting topic, I need to introduce myself. So my name is Martha Moingen, or Marte Moingen. That's the Norwegian way. I'm a Norwegian. I am a managing data analyst at Soprasteria, and I am a chronic volunteer, so I'm organizing conferences and networks and things. So if you ever come to Norway in February, you need to join Fabric February. I mean, if you think Fabric is cool. When I don't do the data stuff, I like to do trad climbing and skiing, and do the Norwegian mountaineering things. So also, join me for that if you ever come to Norway. That would be cool. Now, let's go back to the interesting things. We're going to talk about what is Data Activator and why and how you can use it. So Data Activator is, it's an experience inside of Microsoft Fabric. And when Microsoft Fabric was launched, a bunch of different features was moved from existing solutions or existing features in the Azure world into Fabric. But the Data Activator solution, that's new. We haven't seen this before. This is a new experience inside of Fabric. Okay. And what is it? Well, it could be this sentence. So Data Activator is a no-code experience in Microsoft Fabric for automatically taking actions when patterns or conditions are detected in changing data. So that's what we want to use it for. That's like our sentence. But what does that mean, and how can we do this in practice? Well, when you are setting up your data actions through Data Activator, what you're doing is that you're setting up something that you want to monitor. You want to monitor events that are coming in. This could be that your report is refreshing, or that you have event streams coming in. This is what you want to monitor, so you're monitoring some objects through the events. Then you need to set a threshold. So anytime a threshold is reached, you're gonna activate a trigger for this specific object. And this trigger is then gonna set your action into play, and then you can actually perform this action that you've decided is gonna happen. So this is really generic. You monitor something, okay, cool. You set up some sort of threshold or something you want to measure. Whenever that criteria is met, you perform this action. Nice. And then I think it's really up to us. What do we use it for? When does this make sense for us in our organization to use, right? Okay. So inside of Data Activator, I would say that you could sort of divide Data Activator into two main use cases, or two main ways of using it. You can use it on analytical data through your Power BI reports. So you can monitor measures and calculations inside of your report and see, okay, something happened, now I want to know, or I want to perform an action. Or you can do it through event streams and monitor that. So I'm going to show you how to do this through a demo as well. Cool. And I think we're just going to jump straight into the demo, because it's only a 20-minute session, so we need to be efficient here. Alrighty, let's change my view so that I can, did that work? Show you this. Black screen's not that promising. Oh, that didn't work. Let me try again. What do we see? Haha, Fabric. Nice, it worked. Cool. What I've done here is that, I've opened up Microsoft Fabric. It looks like Power BI for those of you who have never been inside here. And I've gone into this Sky's the Limit workspace, my favorite workspace for SQL bits. What I have inside of this workspace is a Power BI report that I think is really good, Sky's the Limit report. So I'm going to open up this report, and it's going to show us some Airbnb data. So what we're seeing here is some really important insights on how the Airbnb market is going and doing inside of London. Cool, because that's where we are. Now, what I want to know from an Airbnb perspective, because I am the boss of Airbnb today, I want to know when I get these spikes on the number of reviews. Because that could mean that I have a bug in my system, or that something is going really well or really bad. So this is what I want to monitor. What I now can do is that I can set an alert on this specific visual that is showing this specific measure. So I click on that, set alert, And what I now can do is that I can say that, so yeah, number of reviews, that was the specific visual I want to monitor through Data Activator. The measure in this view is sum of number of reviews. That also means that obviously if you have created some sort of really cool measure that you're using inside of your Power BI desktop or Power BI report, you can set up your alert on that specific measure. This is what I want to monitor. I want to see how many reviews do I get. Then my condition could be that it becomes greater than, or I can choose between these conditions. And so now what's happening is that Data Activator is giving me 464 because that's a number that makes sense for this visual. Obviously, I know my data really well, so I think 600 is what I want to monitor. Then I know that that's crazy amount of reviews that I'm getting in a really short amount of time. Then something has happened, and I want to monitor that. Cool. And then scrolling down, and this is, yes, I know, that was a bit disappointing maybe. You can get an email or a Teams message. I mean, that's good. It would be nice if I could just automatically get that, but we want more than that, right? So stay tuned, we're gonna look at more than that. But right now in this user interface, this is what I can choose. So I want to get an email. I want to save this reflex that we're creating, this Data Activator object with all this information. I want to save it inside my Sky's the Limit workspace. And here I want to create a new reflex item. So, and then I need to give it a great name. Oh, I already have that. Demo 2. Then I'm ready, and I can create my alert. So now Fabric is wrapping this all up for us beautifully, putting it into this reflex. So reflex is the specific item that you create for the Data Activator experience. So this is where we have the monitoring and, well, all the things we want to monitor. So let's click View Alert and see what this looks like. And now, friends, this is the first time we, together as a group, are looking at what Data Activator looks like inside of Fabric. So this is the user interface that Data Activator is giving us. And here you see the same things that I already put in this user interface that we used inside the report. And if I scroll up here, you see that I have sum of number of reviews as was what I want to select. This is what I want to look at. We see that I'm detecting becomes greater than 600. Every time it becomes greater than 600, I want to get an email. Or maybe I want, if it becomes more than 600 5 times within 10 minutes, or something else, something that makes sense for us. So there's a lot of flexibility here. And if I open up here, you also see that I have much more conditions that I can put in than we had in the previous user interface. So now we're inside of Data Activator. So many opportunities. And down here we see Act, and then I can choose I want to send an email, Teams message, and then what should be the subject, what should be the headline. And the nice thing here is that you can also put in, what would you call it? Like parts of the information of the report. So they don't have to be like, oh, this report is showing us something, then I need to go into the report to actually see what happened. You can put this into the email as well as objects or parameters. Maybe that's the word you should use. Nice. So this is the Power BI way. But there is another opportunity here. I could also create custom actions. And this is where I get really excited. Because if you've been working with Power BI before, you know that you could have set up alerts on dashboards and then you could have gotten an email, right? But now you can set up custom actions. So let's create that. Let's call it best action. And then I'm copying the connection string. And then I'm going to click on Create Flow in Power Automate. So I'll do that. So instead of using the built-in functionality of Teams and emails, I can now set up my custom action instead, and then I'm being sent directly into Power Automate. And here, for those of you who have been using Power Automate before, you know that there's a lot of things you can do in there. So now you could potentially say that, oh, we're getting really bad reviews, or I'm seeing that this customer doesn't like us anymore. let's automate or kickstart this retention process that we have. That might be to send out emails to the customer. Maybe, I don't know, if there was something happening with a complaint, this system might need to fix that. Well, you can automate all kinds of things. From the data engineering perspective and data analyst perspective, we could also automate the data quality is shit. It's bad. Sorry. It's not as good as we want it to be. So how we need to rerun a pipeline, for instance, because maybe we know that that's always the issue. We didn't get all the data. We just need to rerun it. Then we can automate that. So that when we come to work in the morning, it's already fixed and we don't have to manually do it, for instance. So you can help us with a lot of things. Okay, I'm inside of Data Activator. Now I can create a connection with the connection string that I just copied. And now these are automatically connected, and now I can put in new things or steps here. And we can't, go through all of this, but there's so many things you can do. So all the things. So again, how creative are you? Do you see the opportunities? What can you do with your organization? And that will depend. Nice. Okay, that was the Power BI way. I also mentioned that we could do things with event streams. So now we were in the analytical realm working with the report, but what we could do is that we could also create an event stream. So let's say that we have data coming in all the time, and then, nice, it worked. And then we want to create an event stream to track this data. Best demo. Oh. Create. Here we can, and this also depends on your use case, but now I just click this button, my event stream is just coming up in Fabric, it's magic. I think that's also really cool with Fabric, that pulling in real-time analytics features. Many opportunities. What I can do here is that I can say that I want a new source. So if I already have an event hub that I want to get data from, I can connect to that. If an IoT hub, or I can create a custom app. Create that. What's happening now behind the scenes is that it's creating this event hub for me. So that if someone else wants to send me data, I'm now creating this here. And you see that I have keys and so on that I can share with whoever wants to push data to me. Or I can use Power Apps to get APIs in and then push it here. Again, so many opportunities, but just let's pretend we have event streams coming in. This is what we want. The point here with Data Activator is that I now can use Reflex as the source, the destination of my event stream. And this is really relevant for IoT data, operational data. Maybe you want to monitor, is my temperature of this food thing the way it should be, or something went wrong? Do I need to know that? How can I fix that? And also automate, preferably automate the action to fix it, right? So you can also do more of the operational realm. Don't have to be in analytical, then you might probably want to use Power BI. Here you can do more of the operational and IoT data as well. Cool. Time is flying. This was, I'm thinking, do we have time? So what I didn't show you is that if I go here, click Reflex, what you can do if you're opening up Fabric for the first time, or maybe not the first time, but if you have a free trial, for instance, you can use sample data to test this. And I think this was so great the first time I dived into this, because this was a new feature. So if I just click here, it's going to set up sample data for us. And it's monitoring some sort of delivery package thing with temperatures and so on. Yeah, medicine package is too warm. This is what this is monitoring. And then hopefully if you give it a couple of seconds, or maybe not because it worked because it's a demo, you're going to see what it looks like when data is actually coming in. While with the report that we set up, every time I would refresh that data, then I would get these points, right? But here, this is real-time data that's coming in now. And then you can monitor and see, okay, how is it going? How are we doing? You see that? And also how many times was the trigger activated, and so on. So this is also something you can set up. And if you have a number of IDs that you're monitoring, you can decide which ones you want to actually look at. If you want to deep dive or dive into the data and have more details, and so on. Nice. Okay. This was the demo part. Let's see if we can wrap this up. Going back to, now the question is if I need to, the presentation. Wow. It sort of worked. Ah, it worked. Nice. Cool. Okay. What about use cases? What else? What can we do? I want to just talk a little bit about data governance. I love this topic because I see so many opportunities with Data Activator and data governance. Because now we can, obviously we can know more. We can use Data Activator as an observability tool. That's cool. But if we look at the Fabric as an overall solution, there are some really specific things that you would take advantage of in the governance domain. So you would use domains, roles and access management, policies and processes, and Purview Hub and data lineage. But I think that Data Activator should be here as well. You can use this as part of your governance policies and how you can help you have control over your data. And it can also help you with, as we mentioned, the data quality monitoring. But that depends. You can actually create a data quality report, and then you will set up the measures. What do you want to measure? What do you want to know? And then use Data Activator to help you fix the issues, or at least just know that they're happening. And send them to data stewards, so data owners and so on, to get better and more control. Nice. Okay, so use cases. Well, anything you want to monitor and automate, you can use Data Activator for, right? You need to be creative with this one. So there's so many things that you can use it for. It could be alerts when something is happening in the value chain, something that's a bit operational, streaming data, that type of thing. Or if you just want to automate some sort of thing that would fix the problem, that you know would fix the problem every time. For instance, rerunning something, solving an issue. Or, as we also just briefly discussed, if you want to track the data quality itself. Hopefully you feel like, oh, cool, Data Activator, that was something. And it's not that hard. I just clicked around and it worked. Nice. Then hopefully you feel like this is something you can use. And with that, I want to say, please give me some feedback. And also, if you want to continue the discussions or questions, contact me on social media. Or I have this YouTube channel that you can ask questions on that we can answer if you have any. And then I want to say that we have 1.5 minutes left. So are there any questions? Yes. OK, so the question is, when you're setting up the report, how does it know that you're actually checking this specific point in time? Yes. Yes. So it's checking every time you refresh the data and what's the value for that new refresh. So this is what it's going to check. It's not summarizing for the entire solution. It's summarizing for the x-axis that I put into my visual. So that's how it's doing it. No, it will not look on the whole data.
I mean,
that's the point.
Hello. Yes. It works? Yeah.
Yes.
So in that case, when you put it on the chart with the old years and threshold is, for example, in 2021
yes.
above, it will also activate the alert.
Yes, I think I understand the question, and also hopefully I answered it. So it depends on how you set up your visual, obviously, and what you want to monitor. But every time it's refreshing, it's going to check what is the value of this within that visual that you're setting up.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, that was the question that we had time for. But if you have any more questions, come up to me and we can continue them outside. And thank you so much for coming.